Welcome to At the Well with Jesus, and my name is Lana, and I just started this here YouTube channel, At the Well with Jesus, and so Happy New Year. We've been doing a creation series, and what that is I've been taking each day of creation in Genesis in the Bible and focusing, just praying and asking God what He would like to share about the creation, and so this is all my own personal learning with God, and including it in a body, mind, spirit centering practice. I'm sorry, I'm just getting over a cold. So having said that, there's the days of creation, which are they're just plain written out. But I believe that God wants, His Word is alive, like it's living. It's about our life right now that He wants to be a part of. Not a part of, He wants to be in our life, and active and helping us through things and teaching us and showing us things and helping, ultimately I believe, helping us learn how to love each other really well, in an unconditional love like He has for us. And so, anyway, back to the creation series. I believe that because God is very personal and He's alive in our hearts, He lives in our hearts, He wants to teach us things about Him, about His love and His truth through every part of the Bible. And I thought it'd be, I just wanted to do, I thought it's a good place to start the creation of the world, of us, of everything in it. And so we are on day 5. So having said all that, if you have a friend, invite a friend to come and do this with you. If you want to grab yourself what we're going to need today for our practice, of course we always need a blanket, some pillows, and a mat or a blanket that you can put on the floor. We're not going to be moving around a whole lot in this practice. We will do some movement. So just, I've got my book out here that I'm looking at, kind of what I would like to talk about and reach out to you and let you know what God has shown me in the creation of day 5, and just kind of what it means to me. So this isn't me interpreting it for you. It's my own personal interpretation with God. And I believe that, you might read day 5 and pray and ask God what He wants you to learn, and it might look a little bit different than what He wants me to learn, because we're all different people and we're all at different places. He doesn't change. His Word is always going to line up with who He is and what it says in the Bible. And if He's telling you things, but He's also very personal, and He knows what each one of us really needs in our hearts and souls, and that's what He really wants to grow in us. He wants to plant those seeds and help them grow. So, we're just going to start off, and we're going to just come to a seated position, whatever position you are comfortable in. And we're just going to take a couple breaths to just come to this place right now where we can let go of everything else. One more thing I forgot to mention. On the playlist, I put in a couple songs that have really spoke to me. One is It Is Well, and the other one is Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, I think. It's under day 5 anyway, the playlist is. So we're going to just come into a relaxing seated position. I want you to just move around a little. Maybe you're kneeling, maybe you've got your legs out. I'm just in a cross-leg position. And maybe what we can do is to help us check our body, see where our body is at, see if there's any kinks, any tension. We're going to just tighten up, bring your shoulders up to your ears, and just stretch your back up, and bring your muscles so that everything is coming in, and you're pushing up with your sit bones, or your sitting muscles, all your buttocks muscles. You're just pushing everything up, and you're just squeezing your muscles all in towards your spine. Take a big breath and let it all go. Breathe in through your nostrils and out through your mouth. We're going to tense our muscles, bring that tension back into our muscles, just starting with, and let's be mindful about this, we're going to start down the base at our tailbone with all the muscles just squeezing in and just kind of rippling up and pushing up and pushing up and pushing up and pushing up and in, and bringing your shoulders up to your ears practically. You're just going to hold it. Breathe in and release. And then take a couple breaths here through your nose and out through your mouth. And this time we're going to do that one more time where we tense up our body, and let's just try, and we're going to start right down at our feet and just feel all of our muscles starting to come in closer to the bones so that we're just hugging our bones with our muscles. We start to bring it up through our spine, just using all those back muscles that you can. And then you're pushing in, you're squeezing, 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 squeezing your shoulders up to your ears. Take a breath in and let it go. So I'm just going to open up, asking, Father, thank you for giving us this time and space together. And I just ask that you speak to our hearts, that you settle and speak to our hearts and minds through our bodies, through what we're doing today. And we do this to honor you and you only. In Jesus' name, amen. So day 5, you're all ready? We'll begin. And I'll start by reading what day 5 says in Genesis. It says, "Let the waters bring forth swarms of living creatures, and birds that fly above the earth across the expanse of the sky. God created the great sea monsters and all the living creatures of every kind that creep, which the waters brought forth in swarms, and all the winged birds of every kind. And God saw that this was good. God blessed them, saying, 'Be fertile and increase, fill the waters in the sea, and let the birds increase on the earth.' And there was evening and morning on the 5th day." So a couple things that spoke to me about this is let there be. The phrase that is always there with every day, God is saying, let there be light, let there be water, let there be light separating the darkness, let there be waters that bring forth swarms of living creatures. And that phrase, let there be, that's repeated over and over with every day. And when I looked it up, the Hebrew meaning of let there be, it's about nourishing to live, having life, to become. And kind of the idea is, and then the other side of that is to fall out or fall away, fall off. And I thought that was kind of interesting because it seems to be two different ideas. But when I read more about it, the idea is that to nourish and to have life, if you have life, then death is going to fall away. If you have truth, then lies, there isn't room for lies. The lies will fall away. If you have love, true love, then hate is going to fall away. There's not room. If you have light, then darkness will fall away. And I just thought that was such an interesting way to look at it and explain that phrase. So God is creating life every time He speaks. Let there be. He's bringing out life into, and right now He's bringing life. He's bringing swarms of life to come up out of the water and into the sky with the birds. And the word swarms also caught my attention with the idea of it's not just one. It's not just a lone thing, a lone fish out there in the water. And when I read about swarms and read more on that part of the thinking of what's behind that. In Hebrew thinking, I guess, the reality of that time is community. Community, like if they're talking about one living creature, they're talking about a community of people, a gathering together. And they gave the example like a village coming together in the most basic form, you know, people in tents. And I started thinking about people without homes and homeless people. They come together. They have nothing, you know, material, really. They don't have houses or whatever, but they come together as a group to find that community, that uniting together, that oneness. And or like the molecules in our body, they come together to create a cell, and then the cells come together to create an organ in our body, and then the organs all come together. Like there's always this coming together. And the swarms, like when I think about swarms, I think of bugs, you know, like swarms of mosquitoes, which that's not a good thing, but, you know, like if you can picture that swarms, there's just so many. And there's a place in the Bible, and it's like Holy Spirit is just saying, remember there's a person in the Bible, and I think it was Ezekiel, but I'm not sure. I'm not positive about that. But there's a man in the Bible, and he was feeling so depressed and crying because he felt like he was the only one who was trying to uphold this here, you know, truth about God, truth about what he wants. His ways. And this is in the Old Testament, I know that. And then God showed him that there were 7,000 other people. Like that's a lot. Like for you to think, I'm all alone, and then your eyes are opened up to see that there is 6,999 other people. Or 7,000 other people. Never mind. 7,000 other people that are there and are going through and trying and living their life in the same ways that you are, with that same faith that God has given them. And he shows you this. And so then you realize, I'm not alone in this. There's other people that also believe and are following. So I thought, you know, that's pretty cool. So having said all that took quite a bit, but I feel like it's really interesting, and it reminded me that yielding, because if we're going to be in community, we can't be what's that saying? An island all by ourselves kind of thing. We have to unite. We have to find that thread of oneness in us, and so that means give and take, and yielding and surrendering, and not pushing our way forward, but yielding to one another, moving forward towards love, connecting us, and moving forward with love, rather than getting stubborn and being hateful and angry at each other. And so part of that is the wood meridian. And the wood meridian, it runs it is your liver and gallbladder are the organs, and this is traditional Chinese medicine, and I don't know a lot, but I have learned a little bit about it. And so the liver, what I remember about it is the liver is some of the emotions where you know that there may be some trouble in your liver is like fears and anger. And I have had both determining, kind of freezing me in my life, where I can't see the truth and I can't see love. And it's funny that I said see, because it's with the vision, about seeing. Your eyes are connected to your liver. If you want to, you can see if there's liver problems, your eyes are going to start to turn yellowish, the white of your eye is. And that's a sign that there's a problem physically, right? So, having said all that, let's come to our practice today is going to be around the wood. Oh, I start with the wood meridian. So the yin is the inside. So it runs from like this here part, the inside of your foot, along the inside of your leg. And then the yang, so the more active part of wood would run from the outside part of your leg and out, I believe, your pinky toe. Wood is also connected, the wood meridians is also connected with your joints. So you've got a couple really big joints here, your hips and your knees. And so when wood is out of balance, like I said, there is some of the emotions are, you're frustrated to tears. So like you're so angry or you're so frustrated, you're crying. You're impulsive or ruminating, fears and anger, so determined, you're just going to push your way, let's get this done. And the inside, like when things are balanced, it's smooth and slowness, and you have the patience, and you can wait, and you're responding, you're giving yourself space and time and rest, and those are like just such different forces, So having said all that, let's do some of our practice, and as we're practicing, I will talk more about the wood meridian and just maybe ask some probing questions for you to think about while you're in the poses. So we're going to start, we're going to do a down dog, so stand up and we'll just find ourselves where we are. Bringing your feet about hip distance apart. We're going to just inhale our arms up over our head. We'll just start with a gentle side to side sway. Just getting an ease into this, a little bit of a stretch. Breathing in and out. And as you come to one side, we're just going to pause here. We're going to lean into it so that we get a stretch along our side here. And as we breathe in, let's try that tensing up, that using our muscles, wrapping them around our spine and our back, using our legs, pushing our hip out to create a little bit more of a curve in our body, giving us a little bit more, stretching our arms up as we're holding them together. With your head, invite your vision, your eyes to gaze downward so that you're not straining your neck. And then just pause and breathe here in and out. And as you breathe in, maybe you can find a little bit more. You can stretch or use your muscles, bring them around your bones a little bit more, around your joints. Keeping a bend in your elbows, in your knees. And then let it go. And with an inhale, come on up. Bring your arms down. And we'll just work that out. Just shake it out, moving, doing a little twist. We'll go to the other side, so breathing your arms up over your head. Bringing your hands together. We're going to find length in our spine, a bend in our knees and our elbows. And then we're just going to go lean into one side, pushing out our out of their hip, getting a little bit more of a curve. Bringing our gaze down to the floor so we're not putting any strain on our neck. And breathe in and out. And we'll just pause here. And again, we're going to just find a little bit of tightening up with our muscles, using them, making them active, tightening up around our joints. So that doesn't mean locking your knees, it just means you're aware of your muscles around your joints, around your legs, and you're just activating them. It's like whoosh. And you're just going to hold it. And then on an exhale, release. Then on an inhale, bring yourself up. Let your hands come down, your arms come down. And again, we'll just kind of shake and twist, letting it all out. And then we're going to come into a down dog position. So again, inhale your arms up, folding forward, all the way down, diving down with your hands and head leading. And we're just going to slide our arms, our hands forward, so our arms are there. And you bring your legs back, your feet back a little, keeping a bend in your knees. We'll just walk our dog out, so just like you're pedaling or walking, lifting one foot and then the other, one heel and then the other heel. And then maybe hold. and the other. And we're going to come into swan. So for swan, we're going to bring a leg forward. So I'll start with my left, and I'll bring my left foot forward, and then I'm going to scooch it on over. I'm going to bring my back knee down, and this, and I invite you to use your pillows, use your blankets, because I'm going to. So tucking your pillow, so underneath your back knee, give yourself some comfort, and put a pillow or a blanket under your back knee. And then you're going to have another blanket or pillow that you can rest your body on. But first we're going to just stay in this, like this, until you feel your hips release, your leg on the inside, just gently releasing. So, and you'll know, so you're not forcing yourself down right away, but you feel that release in your hip, in your pelvic area. And then when you do, you can walk your body down. And rest in that position. Uncurl your toes and let your back leg rest. With every inhale, for the first couple inhales, let's try activating our muscles. So you're hugging your muscles like they're hugging into your bones, hugging all around. And then on your exhale, just let it go. And find some rest. And stay there for a couple breaths. And then again, inhale and activate all your muscles like they're hugging around your bones, squeezing them. And then with your exhale, release. The thing is, we don't want to force anything with our bodies. We don't need to force our way in life either. Just about always we have time to step back and think before we respond, before we act or talk, before we speak. So just come on up. We're going to lean over to one side. And just come on out from that position. And we're going to move to the other side in swan. So we'll move all of our pillows and blankets, and we'll just, with your hands accompanying to another down dog. And again, we'll just walk out the dog, feet or heels lifting up. And we'll come into swan the same way we did on the other side. So bring the leg forward. And we're just going to scooch that foot over. Bring ourselves down. Get our pillows under our knee. Bringing pillows up, stacking them. And if you remember, we straightened out, got our toes curled under. We're resting our knee on the pillow. And we're just going to wait until we feel that release in our pelvis area, our hips. So let your foot lay flat on the mat. Just breathe into the back of your spine. And once you feel that release of your tailbone, your spine, your lower spine, you can walk your way down and rest again on the pillows. And just take a couple breaths here. Breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth. And then on the next couple inhales and exhales, let's hug all of our muscles, squeezing them around our bones. And then on the exhale, release, so you let it all go. And again, squeezing, activating all of your muscles. Just imagine them curling around your bones, squeezing together. And release. I'm just going to sit up for a minute. And just share with you, sometimes when we find ourselves in a frustrating situation or we have an imbalance in our wood meridian, I had said some of the emotions, we might want to react to something, we might get really angry about stuff or so frustrated we're brought to tears or that. And one of the things is that squeezing all of your muscles and releasing and letting go. And, doing that a few times, what it's doing is it's kind of like you're massaging. You can imagine that, like you doing that, squeezing and then releasing. It's like a little massage on your whole nervous system. That vagus nerve, which is a big nerve that runs down the back of your spine, and carries so many messages and reactions, and if we can calm down that part, our physical, because our body is going to react before even our brain is aware that it's like somebody does something, I don't know, I'll just use this as an example, cuts you off in traffic, and right away you're ready to react. Your body, your hand is either coming up, or a finger is coming up, or you're starting to yell at them. And so if we can help to rethink all of these things and give our body space and time, you can walk yourself up, come to a seated position, move your pillows out of the way. We're going to move into tabletop. And I'll face you when I do tabletop. So in tabletop, you can curl you'll go to the side. You can curl your toes under, or you can lay them flat. It's up to you. Hands are planted. Let your head just hang down. Bring your back to like a flat tabletop position. Your elbows have a little bit of bounce to them, so they're not extended, but they have a little bit of a bend. If you need to use one of your pillows under your knees again, do that. I'm just going to curl up. So this is cat position, like a cat arching its back. Keeping your head down. And we're going to slowly and smoothly come into cow position. So it's just a little bit of a tilt of the back, our lower back, our tailbone. Our head is still hanging down, so we're just going to slowly bring our head up. On the count of 7, we're going to just bring it up towards the ceiling. We're going to lift our neck. So it's like we're lifting each vertebrae or disc at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And your face should be parallel to the mat or floor. We're just going to bring our right hand over to our left. I'm just going to lean back and get a stretch along our side, our armpit. Bring your head down. And come back up to tabletop again. We'll do that again. Get your hands planted. Your head is down, hanging down. We're going to arch our back just like a cat, using our muscles again, wrapping them around our bone, helping them pick our body up. Then we're going to release. Find that cow tilt and position in our pelvis area, in our lower back. And then we'll lift our neck up to the count of 7 again. Going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Relax your shoulders. Bring them down towards, like just relax them so that they're not all up here, just relaxed. Things are in line. We're going to bring our left hand over to the right side, right hand, and we're just going to get a stretch on that side of our body. And come back up. We'll come back up into tabletop. Flat back. You can just bring yourself down to a seated position. So this is all about moving slow and smooth. We're going to come into butterfly. So butterfly is your soles of your feet are together, and they can be out here, they can be closer, it's up to you. And before we bring our pillows and blankets, let's find a good seated position where you feel like your bones that you're sitting on, those seat bones. You can feel them. Maybe we'll just find a little movement like a butterfly. I was just thinking, I wonder if the butterfly is one of the winged creatures, I would imagine, that was created on day 5. So just a slowness. I don't know if I've ever seen a butterfly in a hurry, just slowness of their wings. And if you can, now you can trace the inside of your leg along that wood meridian. And then the outside. Maybe we'll do that one more time. Breathing in, tracing the inside, the side where there's slowness and smoothness. And then outside. where it's like getting things done and being able to finish projects. That's another big one is, if you find yourself starting things, you got all these things on the go, but you're not finishing anything. You start at one project and then you move and you start another project, but nothing is getting finished. And that's another sign that there's an imbalance in your wood. And so part of this practice, because we're focusing on the meridian, and we're focusing on connecting our mind, body, and spirit, is to balance out some of the imbalance and bring awareness to any imbalance. So we're in butterfly position. So in this, the soles of your feet are together. Like I said, they can be closer or further apart, your preference. And I'm going to grab a pillow here so that we can be comfortable. And we're going to just rest in this position. You might need to grab a couple pillows. So we're just going to sit here and take a couple breaths. If you can follow your breath all the way as it moves down your spine. It stops at your tailbone. And it comes up in an exhale, leaving your body. So as we think about that, let there be, and when something is, and something else has to fall away or fall off, as we breathe in, breath is life, right? Breath is our life. Life is truth and love. And so what's falling away are lies and hate and anger. As you breathe in the life, for how are you showing up in the world? How are you showing up to be? To be a friend, to be yourself, to be one with God, to be with God. So as you breathe in that breath, the truth and the love, to see any lies that you've believed, any perceptions that maybe have been put onto you or you've told yourself over the years that aren't truth. See those falling away off of you and not holding on to you anymore. We're gonna use our muscles again. Connect our mind and body. I'm going to start with just hugging in all the back muscles around our spine. Till we get up to our shoulders. Our arms, our legs now are active and squeezing. And then we're going to exhale and release. Relax those muscles and let our head drop. Take a couple more breaths here, and then we'll do that again. I'm going to start with the bottom of our feet, pushing together, activating our leg muscles. We'll move up through our pelvis and our hips, up our butt, up the back of our spine, our muscles around our back, and our shoulders, our arms. Everything is squeezing and active. And we're going to release with an exhale. We'll just stay here a couple more breaths. So I invite you to just slowly roll yourself back up. You can move all the pillows out of your way. We'll do one last posture before we come into our resting pose. And this one is Bananasana. So, for this one, so this is kind of what we did when we first started. When we were standing, we were leaning everything towards the side, but we're going to do this laying down. So if you want to lay down on your mats, give yourself lots of room. And what we're going to do is bring our hands over our head. Before we're completely laying down, bend your knees, and we're just going to scooch our hip over to the side. We're going to bring our arms over our head so that we're at a curve like a banana. We're going to bring our foot to the corner of the mat, or as far as you can, and then we're going to put, if you can either put your legs together. For a bit more of a stretch, you can put your foot on top of your ankle, and so that you're in a banana shape. And we're just going to breathe here a couple times. In through our nose, out through our mouth. We're going to try that. What we've done on all the other poses is hugging our bones with our muscles, so squeezing, 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 squeezing everything together. Squeeze it all, and then on an exhale, release. We'll do that one more time. So inhale, squeezing all of our muscles, just activating all of them, hugging into your bones, squishing around them, right up to your fingers, from your toes to your fingers. And then release with an exhale. And just like your body can't sustain squeezing and working so hard and pushing itself with the muscles, squeezing and being active all the time, we can't sustain being angry and those hard emotions, fear and anger and hate, and pushing our way through life. We can't sustain that. Something eventually breaks down or gives. We want relationship with each other. And to have that, we've got to yield. We've got to learn to be able to be soft and move forward towards love with each other. Find a loving solution, not just my way or the highway kind of thing. And I've been there. I've been where it's been my way or the highway. And that puts people in such a hard position that are receiving it in such a hurtful position. So with having said all that, just release, come back to a straight pose. I don't know. I can't even think. And then we're going to do that on the other side. So putting your hip over to the side of your mat, bringing your legs either side by side as you can, or if you want a little bit more of a stretch in your hip, you can put your foot and rest it on top of your ankle. You bring your hands up and over. And again, we'll rest in this position for a couple breaths. On your next inhale, we're going to start with squeezing our muscles, making them active. From our toes, working all the way up our legs, our back, our stomach, our chest and our arms. Just squeezing. And then on an exhale, release. One more time we'll do that. So again, get your muscles going, squeezing your bones, imagine them. Just all your muscles working together to activate your body, to be able to squeeze together and move your body into this shape and hold it there. And then release with an exhale. So we'll come back. Just go right into our rest pose. So bringing your hips back to the center of your mat. And you can either stretch your feet out. I invite you to tuck a pillow if you're stretching your legs out. Pillow underneath your knees. Maybe you want a pillow under your head. Find a restful position. If you want to get a blanket or grab a sweater to put on or throw over top. We're going to bring our mind first to our muscles. So thinking about, is there any tension in our body? I'm going to start with your feet on the left side, your foot, your ankle. Maybe wiggle that around, move it. Your knee, bend it, stretch it out. Your thigh, your left hip. You just kind of sway them. See if there's any tension. Any pain? Your left side, all the way up into your shoulder. Shoulder blades should be resting on your mat or blanket. Your left arm, your fingers. Move up your neck. The left side of your face, your jaw. Is there any tension there? Moving up your left brow line and temple, behind your ear. And bring that left hand down and rest. And then we'll start on your right foot. We do a few ankle circles. Any tension, any gripping, any pain there. Bending and stretching out your knee. Moving up through your thigh, your hip, swaying them from side to side, side of your body, up through your armpit, shoulders, shoulder blades are resting on the mat or blanket, up along your neck, your jawline, brow line on the right side. Across your temple, around the back of your head, your neck, and stretching out your hand, your arms. Now is your space and your time and your quiet and silence and stillness with God, and to ask Him to show you the truth in your heart. Thinking about fears or anger. Thinking about unity, how you can come together in love and truth, rather than building up walls, hate and anger towards each other. Thinking of one another, loving one another, right? As we end this practice, I invite you to, at the end of Shavasana, or rest, rub your hands together. We're going to rub them so that the palms of our hands are heating up. Get them nice and warmed up. The friction between your hands. And then we're just going to rest them on our eyes. How we see the world is so important. So I invite you to roll to the side. Just rest in this here posture, the fetal position. A very caring and loving and peaceful pose. And imagine yourself in Father's arms. Resting there. And gently bring yourself up. And come into whatever seated position is comfortable for you. I invite you to listen to those songs in the playlist. They both just speak so much about being able to yield to life, yield to truth and love of God, and to unity, to one. Peace be with you. Thank you for joining me, and God bless. Bye now.